Gather round. It's time for your Real Estate Chalk Talk with the Hittner Group. Listen closely as your coaches discuss the culture, the economy, and the political scene, and how it affects your home and your real estate investments. Real Estate Chalk Talk is where you learn the science of buying and selling real estate and the art of living in your home. Your education begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the show. This is your Real Estate Chalk Talk with the Hittner Group. HittnerGroup.com, 612-627-8000. That's 612-627-8000. Give us a ring-a-ling-a-ling. We'd be happy to have a chat with you about your real estate needs. And that first conversation, of course, is all with no cost and absolutely no obligation. Well, the market is this is supposed to be the best listing week of the year.
That we just came through, or is coming?
We're just entering into.
Okay.
The number one listing week of the year, huge numbers coming on. And the numbers did kind of pop up a little bit in terms of inventory. We're sitting on the market right now with just a skosh over 5,000 homes, 5,013 homes in the 7-county metropolitan area. It's up 4% from the first week of the year. It's up from a year ago about 1,000 houses. Nice, okay. A little bit of an increase. So there's a little relief from that standpoint. About 830 homes went pending this week. That's up from last week, 784. Saw that this week myself because we had a couple of listings that rolled off and got sold this week. So that was super duper. And we got some inventory coming onto the market. Good, not activity like we're used to from the last couple of years, but I don't think we'll probably see that particular market again for quite a while. But as compared to 2019, which is the last real year, normal year, inventory is down just about 1,000 units. It was about 5,900, 6,000 in 2019 for this week, and now we're at 5,000. So, down a little bit, 18% from that point in time, but that's just the way it is. We still have a lot of people who are interest rate locked in so that they're just not moving. It's the have-to moves, like we've been saying. Keith Reno's dealing with, divorce things. We got probate things going on. All that stuff that happens. Life still goes on. And people want to move, and they need to move. They need to make a move, and so they're going to do what it takes to get that.
Anything by brackets, Keith? What's coming on the market? Is it lower end, mid, high end? What's coming on the market? Or
I don't have that broken down like that by price point, but it's all the normal stuff because life happens to people in every price point. I think what we're probably going to do, and we're excited to have Custom One Homes on the show because we're going to talk about more higher end stuff. The people who are, it's my experience because we're dealing with. Spending some time now showing quite a bit of acreage property. Yep. And it seems like price is always a conversation point, but the numbers are astounding. So right. It's like, well, if I can pick this up for $1 million and then, we can put another $1 million into it and then we got something really nice. So it's that conversation, which is quite different than how do I scratch up the down payment for my $350,000 home in Richfield?
And we can give them the $4,000 grant,
Yeah, exactly.
Towards $1 million.
Yeah.
But that lower end is still hot. Anything under 400 is going to, in all likelihood, if it's a decent property at all in a nicer area, you're going to have multiple offers on that property, and it's still that way to go. We've got the closings for the week are up. Our listings, the numbers of listings that have come on the market this year is up just a little bit of a skosh. I would say that it's pretty. I feel like it's a pretty kind of normal-ish market, to be honest with you.
Do you?
Yeah. It's just like, the markets that I remember from all through my career. It's always been, the people that we deal with, most of the people that we deal with are referrals anyhow. So we got into that whole lead buying thing and all that market there for a few years, and it was, okay business, expensive business. Funny because they just put out a sell thing on Zillow. Did you see that in the news? Yeah. So because
what is that?
Well, because Zillow's whole reliance is on buyers.
Mm-hmm.
And now with these lawsuits that are coming about now, and there's going to be a change in buyer agency. They want us to go to the Australian model, the European model, and European model. There is no buyer agents. There are no buyer agents. So Zillow's like, oh, that's kind of our whole deal,
Right.
Premier agent and all of that. So, of course, if you own Zillow stock, sell it.
Sell.
I don't know. Can I get in trouble for saying
I
that?
don't think you can. You're
I
not
don't
a
think
financial advisor.
Okay.
No,
If you own Zillow stock, sell it because it
Giving
ain't
your
going
opinion.
up.
just your opinion.
Yeah, it
you
is
know.
my opinion.
So what's the sell thing you're referring to?
So
To
there's
sell
a,
the
Sell
stock.
thing. That's general.
so there's
Zillow come out with this sell thing.
okay. So then
What are you talking
there is
about?
there's a financial I don't even know the brokerage,
Mm-hmm.
that put a sell order out on Zillow. So for their
Either a buy order or a
recommend-
sell
Oh, that's
order.
what you're
recommendation, yeah. So the recommendation
I
is
thought
that
you meant they were switching their model to go targeted towards more listing
Sellers?
activity
Yeah.
and sellers.
nobody's been
versus-
able to figure that model out.
Mm-mm.
I was wondering if it was a sell by, eat by, consume by.
Yeah,
types, you know,
Right,
yeah,
right.
sell by date.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sell by date for Zillow was last year. But there's just a lot of change and turmoil going. We've got a couple of properties on Eagan I just want to shout out about because they're going to be coming on the market very soon. Both of them will be coming on in April. They're in the process right now of kind of working painting and getting it all dialed up, countertops going in and floors being redone. 2 properties in Eagan. Both of them, one of them is a split entry, 3-car garage. It's a big split, Keith, like you grew up in. So it's got that 5-bedroom split entry home on a great big lot. I was out there just this week with my phone just kind of videoing the lot.
Yep.
Because the home site is so nice. Just
Yeah,
the backyard is huge, and it's got a he shed in the backyard, and
She
she shed by the house, and he shed okay. So we're gonna have that, so you can look at that. 5 bedrooms, 3-car garage, outstanding, $450,000, all tricked out, nice looking house in Eagan,
Boy, that's cheap.
196 school
isn't it?
district.
Seems like a low price. Boy.
I think it's
No?
probably right.
Okay.
And then there's another one in Eagan, 191 schools. That one is a 4-level, 450, just under 3,000 square feet, 3-car garage, heated garage. I believe that one even has a floor drain in it. Super nice fenced backyard, $450,000. So if someone's looking for that, give us a call and we'll have a conversation about what it is that you need. I have another one coming on, or that we're working on in West St. Paul. I love West St. Paul. I don't know what it is about West St. Paul. I have a romantic idea with West St. Paul or something, but I like West St. Paul.
Living in Inver Grove, we spent a lot of time up in West St. Paul, shopping districts and things like
So,
Good old Robert Street.
that. Yep.
so a little house. Can't talk too much about that. In West St. Paul coming on, but we got properties there. We have another one that in Eagan that we're looking at over in the Presidents, and so that's good coming on. There's property coming.
Little
on.
action, little
There's a
action.
little action. It's just enough.
Shout out to experienced real estate agents. So I have a couple of cash transactions going on right now. So we have quick closings on these properties, and still home inspections. And on one of them in particular, home inspection revealed quite a big issue.
Oh.
And we had about 2 weeks to take care of a bunch of stuff. So tearing walls open, dealing with some cinder block stuff, a little water problem, insulation, and working with experienced real estate agents on both sides of the transaction. Super important, because they have folks, as we do, that can get work done quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And initially, I know the agents on the other side and know that their business is good, and I'm sure they have a great group of people. And it turned out to be just that. We were able to get a lot of work done in about 10 days. And we have the final walkthrough shortly, and they have a guy coming out, in the morning here. So by the time we get there about 4, all of the work will be done, paid for, invoices taken care of.
That's so wonderful to have someone on the other side of the transaction. You don't
Yeah.
have to babysit that side.
Yeah, exactly.
We just had a show. I had a showing at one of these places that we're showing on the acreage, and the agents like brand spanking new.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And you see her, look it up, and you see that never had a transaction, notes family member is the owner of the house, and it's like somebody went and got their license to sell this property.
Yep, make a little money.
Yep, and it's like, son, I called. Do you have the sewer, well, and septic map and all that? Nope. Didn't even know you had to do it. Did you have the inspection done yet? Nope. Didn't know you had to do it.
Yeah. So part of getting a transaction together, and when you talk about things in multiple offer situations, is who's on either side of the transaction.
Yep.
Right.
Helps you out. So if you're a buyer or a seller and you're thinking about selling or buying, give us a call at 612-627-8000. That number again is 612-627-8000. And as always, log on to our website, hittnergroup.com, Hittner group.com. There you can check your home value, search for properties, all online at hittnergroup.com. And we'll be right back.
Hey, welcome back to the program. This is your Real Estate Chalk Talk. 612-627-8000. 612-627-8000. Hittnergroup.com. Hittner Hittnergroup.com. Okay, so we're doing a series on local builders. So much has been made of the national builders, all the news, national news when they always give the reports. They're always, dialing into the national builders, building tens of thousands of houses across the country, tract builders, production builders. But there is a large, robust builder community in the Twin City market that builds quality, custom-built homes for people. We have Custom One Homes in the studio today. Todd, thanks for coming in.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
Before we get rolling, because I always forget, just give a little shot or a way that people can contact you, your websites, and that kind of information.
Yeah, you can always call us at 651-459-1972. You can go to custom1mn.com.
ONE or number one?
It's all spelled out.
Okay.
No numbers, all letters. ONE. So
right.
custom1mn.com.
So give us a little background of your experience in the building industry, and then because I want to kind of just roll forward how you got to own and operate Custom One Homes, and then we'll talk about your product.
Yeah, you bet. Been in the industry for over 20-some years. Been on all sides of the business, on the trade partner side, supplier side, remodeling side, and now we purchased Custom One. It was started in 1983 by a gentleman named Mike Rigg. Mike had built a really good foundation to a business, built a very good home, and he wanted to exit the industry as he was aging, and we got a phone call on it, and we decided to purchase it in 2016. So since 2016, it's evolved quite a bit. We've built maybe in 2016 they were building about 12 homes a year, right around that $700,000 price point. Today we build 20 to 25 in that $1 to $4 million price point. But back to the background side of it, I've been president of Housing First Minnesota, or formerly BATSI. I was president of that in 2021. I was president of NARI, the National Association of the Remodeling Industry, back in 2008. So I've been around on a couple blocks, I guess.
So, and we had Mike on the show like way back when he was still getting going. When you get involved in the different trade organizations, we got a friend of ours who's on the show a lot, and he said there's a trade organization for everything. He loves being involved in that. What do you learn from doing that? What experience does that help you? How does that help you run your business?
Yeah, I always like to say you're closer to the sun, right?
Okay.
So as far as data, information, what's going on in your space, as the world has evolved, it's become way more political. So lobbying, protecting maybe the consumer through the housing association has probably been the biggest thing, trying to make sure that permit fees aren't, going crazy from
Which they have.
municipalities, which they have. Charges for development aren't going crazy, which essentially is another tax to consumers. So
Right, because that's going to get passed through.
So it's crazy. But even when codes change and codes are made to put more money into a home that might not be needed, i.e. A bill that comes through that says every house that is being built moving forward has to have a
Sprinkler system
that got
Those
defeated,
ones?
which was
Yeah.
great, right? And that would have cost people
momentarily. It was We had a couple houses built with the sprinkler system.
Yeah. But so far it's been held off,
Yeah.
right? There's an electrical bill that came through that wanted all electrical chargers in every house built, right? And
With an EV charger for a car.
all EV chargers, and some people don't subscribe to it. So
Right.
why do I have to pay for it?
Right.
And why am I being taxed another $1,000? So they do a good job with that. Personally, better information, an amazing network. You work very closely with a handful of builders. People are willing to share some information just from like how do they go to market, what markets are hot, maybe land that becomes available, trade partner suppliers, new products, new finishes, all those things that you can offer to a client in a much better way.
All of this, what I'm hearing is it's similar to our side, the selling side, is we are a very forward-facing, public forward-facing business industry.
Without a doubt.
And you can't do well being isolated. I mean, you have to be out there in the community doing business, networking, because that's where, first of all, relationships are built so that it enables, like Keith was saying the last segment, when you've got someone then on the other side of the transaction that you recognize, that you've done business with before, and you can cooperate with one another to bring the thing to a close, which is what both sides want. It's not necessarily, it always has to be and shouldn't be this adversarial position. I mean, we're trying to reach a common goal for buyers and sellers. And that's true in in the resale side, and more so even in the building side of the thing. What do you find is an advantage, I'm curious, of having a buyer agent who is representing their client come to you and representing the client during the build cycle? What do you think is good about that, and what do you think they would just go away? Do you have any?
Yeah, we've seen, I'll call it the good, bad, and ugly, right? So, the ugly is the realtor that walks in and says, here's my client, I'm out of here, I'll see you at closing, right? That is not supporting their client, not guiding them, not giving them solid advice. They don't understand the industry, they don't understand price points. So that gets kind of ugly where they think, they start having conversations that don't make sense. I.e., for a 5,000 square foot house, I think you get for $250.
Oh yeah.
Well, you're not being realistic right now. That's what lots cost, on the east side of town. So, and then you got the medium player, the good that comes in and kind of fakes it till they makes it, maybe a little bit, and they participate, but sometimes they're just kind of in the way, right? Then you've got the really good experience realtor that is doing their homework. They're diligent, they're experienced, they know the industry, they know price points. They guide their clients, making sure that they're protected, but they're safe with decisions and investments. So, we can have really healthy conversations, because when we go and work with client or realtor, and we're very realtor friendly, we want to have a very good experience, right? And we do that through a consultative approach, not a transaction approach, right? Very different. I always say we're not trying to sell you jeans, right? We're selling you something that's going to be very tangible to you. You're going to have some wonderful experiences in it, and through Custom One, you're going to have a better experience because you're in a Custom One home.
What I find that there's some things that can go into a property that are things that the family will enjoy and will increase in value over time when it comes. I'm always looking out 5 years. What's going to happen 5 years or 8 years or 7 years when you go to sell this, and you've got it in a particular price point? What are the expectations going to be of that buyer? And sometimes the seller or the original person who built the house maybe didn't want that feature because they didn't see it themselves.
Sure.
That they would,
They didn't value it, right?
and didn't put value on it. But most buyers would expect that. Is there some things that you have that built into kind of your base floor plans? Do you have base floor plans, or is everything kind of from scratch?
It's all from scratch.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a scratch kitchen, if you will, right?
Okay.
We start with a blank sheet of paper. We definitely have things that consumers have enjoyed, and you see consistencies as far as what they put in a home. And then there's things that are one-offs, right? So we've got a house down in Credit River right now that was on the parade. It was a dream home. It's got a main level bar on it, but the main floor.
Main level bar.
It's great. It feeds
Love
out.
that.
If you can imagine, you walk through a kitchen dining area, and then there's a main level bar and a 4-season room. I mean, from hosting and, what it was built for is the family of 4, family of 5 that loves to entertain. They have the kids' sports teams over, right?
Yeah.
Or you have the, multiple couples over that you don't have the separation from the guys go downstairs and the women stay upstairs, right? So it's just much more social. In experience.
Is it like a sit-down bar or walk-up bar?
It's a walk-behind bar.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a walk-behind bar. It seats another 4 or 5 people. So I think I counted. You could actually seat between the island, the bar, and the dining was over 20-some people. So great for holidays, right? I mean, so many functions, right?
Yeah.
Birthday parties, bar mitzvahs, whatever it is.
Do you give people like your portfolio? So, like, if you gave me a blank sheet of paper, I wouldn't know where to start.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Absolutely. We guide, we talk about, we don't get locked into square footages. We start with spaces, and those spaces equate to a square footage.
Right.
A lot of times people are like, I want a 5,000 square foot home, or I want a 6,000 square foot home. And you're like, well, do you know why?
Yeah, I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, I don't.
That's an ego buy.
Yeah,
bit, right?
Yeah, so let's talk about the spaces.
Space.
How do you want to function in it?
Yeah.
And then, bunch of Post-its, cut and paste, and all of a sudden you got, a main level at 1,650 square feet, and the house came in at 4,200, which is good from a price point standpoint.
Yeah, if we're looking at price per square foot. Speaking of price a little bit, we talk a lot about on the show, how do you make $1.5 million home a $2 million home, or a $2 million home a $3 million home? What are the differences between those homes, and why are they so much more expensive in reselling or in new construction? And we'll talk a little bit more about just the value and pricing of those properties outside of location when we return.
Great.
This is Real Estate Chalk Talk. Log on to our website, hittnergroup.com, Hittner Group.com, or give us a call anytime, 612-627-8000. That's 612-627-8000, and we'll be right back.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. We're in the studio with Todd from Custom One Homes, and we've been talking about the building process now with Custom Ones. And Keith had a question about values and what makes a...
Yeah, my comment was just around, like, we have a lot of conversations about valuation and building costs, et cetera, on high-end properties. And a lot of times you'll see a home and, like, one's $3 million, one's $2 or $2.25, and you're like, what makes that home? You go in, they're about the same size. They look very nice. You're walking around. What makes this house $500,000 or $1.5 million more than the next guy's home, outside of location, of course, whether you're on water or all that stuff. Given the same side of town, we're looking at equal or similar locations. What really accentuates the value for people? We ended last segment, you were talking about entertainment space, main level bar, and things like that. To me, I'm looking at this like, how do you live in the property? This is what gives this home more value versus, just a blanket square footage number.
Yeah, I think it goes back to what Keith was talking about, Zillow, right? Everything's by dollars per square foot. Well, if you walk in a house and it's $4,000, dollars per square foot can be hundreds of dollars difference, to your point.
Right.
It comes back to building science first, right? So what is the walls created of? What products is going into it? How does the house expand, contract? It can go into, let's just talk insulation real quick. Is it batting insulation? Is it blown net? Is it spray foam? Different price points, right? Batting to spray foam, 6x as a multiplier. Can't see it. Doesn't change square footage. The faucet that was American Standard versus a Kohler Callista faucet, $2,000 swing. Countertop, is it the cheapest granite that I can find for $39 a square foot, or is it going into some other exotic square footage that is product that goes in there that square footage could be $150 a square foot? So there's so many multipliers. We talked about that walk behind bar. You're going to add 20, 30 grand for that bar. Same square footage, but then it comes into finishes, and you can walk in a home, look at the ceiling. First thing you walk in, just look at the ceilings, right? And you'll see that, like, holy cow, that house has beams and structures and different things, upsets and, shiplap and all these things that you can go onto that fifth wall, if you will.
Right.
But that costs money.
Yeah.
Right.
Windows. Are we talking a low-end vinyl product? Are we talking an A-series Anderson window, or a high-end Impervia Pella window? There's a lot of options there. Front door systems, quality of garage doors. Are they insulated? How's the garage finished?
Right.
Do you walk in and it's just fire taped, concrete, bare floor, or is it epoxy finished, finish taped, heated,
Storage already installed?
All those things, right? I mean, there's multiple thousands of dollars of swings. Wood. Let's talk about millwork. You'll see a lot of people that are trying to get down on a price point will use an MDF product for their base and case millwork.
And paint it.
What happens, and it's just painted. It's not even enameled, right? It's not bondoed. It's not sand. It's not a 5-step enamel process. So now I'm running a vacuum by it, and
Ding.
it looks great the day I moved in, though.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, holy cow.
6 months later, you see little bump marks
The
on
cardboard doesn't look so good, you know?
Yeah.
Even with the white paint on it, right?
Right.
Cardboard.
Yeah. So, is it truly a wood species, right? But there's so many options. Appliance packages, right?
You can go crazy.
You can have a $50,000, $100,000 swing just on appliances.
Yeah.
We had a conversation with a consumer last week that was about a 3-season versus a 4-season. What's the price difference? And by the time you put on easy slide windows and easy breeze windows, those kind of things, you might as well just do 4-season. The conversation was back to resale and return on investment. Well, how much do you get for a 3-season porch or a screen porch on resale versus finished square footage?
Yeah, one's square footage and one's not.
Right. So why not just spend the extra $5,000? I mean, it seriously was not a lot of money, and get the full return on the square footage.
So on that, the spray foaming, I'm just curious about. I love spray foaming.
Yeah.
And you just from
So from all that, you went back to
I go back.
insulation,
I'm going back
the most
to
sexy thing
there's a couple of things that I appreciate, I guess, in the construction cycle.
Yeah.
One of them is building it right from the inside out, and that comes down to your spray foaming and all that, because that is that energy efficiency, the quietness of it, and the moisture barrier part of it and all that stuff will protect you for the next 100 years that property is
And
being
Keith,
used.
it gets crazier with house wraps, right? You drive by a house where you see a house wrap on, and you're like, oh, it looks wet. It looks like a wet bark garbage bag, right? Cheap poly, cheap wrap, house wrap. It meets the code, but it doesn't help your house perform, right?
Right.
So Tyvek's pretty solid product, breeze in and out, lets vapor out. Same with the inside. Are you just putting poly between the stud and the drywall, between the insulation and the drywall, or are you using smart membrane poly? Different price points, different performance.
But then wood species is another one that I love, because there were it seems like our market goes in cycles. It was oak. Then in the early 2000s, maple. Everything was maple everywhere.
Yeah.
What do you see in terms of wood species being used in these higher end homes, and what are the unique properties that would make them attractive?
Yeah, I think size of millwork is a big difference too. It's not just your ranch base and case. You're getting into 5 and 7 inch bases, and maybe even 9 inch base.
Looks so
height wise.
Yeah,
Love
it looks
that.
so good.
You see a lot of painted, just because it's traditional, last. It doesn't go out of style. It's not a trend.
Is there a wood? You say don't use the cardboard, don't paint cardboard. So is there a wood that you prefer that's very paintable, that doesn't expand and contract a lot, that you like? This is what we use for painting.
Yes, stay away from pine, popple, maple, birch. Can all be good paintable surfaces.
Popple, maple, birch. Okay, birch probably being the best. You think?
Yeah, they're all solid.
Yeah.
I mean,
And then in terms you talked about the appliance packages. It's funny because I'm just having my wall oven replaced because the bottom oven quit working. So it's like I got to get a new wall oven now. So I go out to the thing, get a new wall oven. And unfortunately, I go to look at a Wolf oven.
Yep.
Well, it's like $9,000
Yeah.
for an oven.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just to heat something up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
And I don't cook that much. And then, fortunately for me, they don't make one that fits in my slot anymore, because it's
Shoot. So you have to get a different brand.
doggone it. I have to get a different
It's
brand.
off by a quarter inch.
It's it's about
By
2
golly.
inches. Yeah, by golly.
It's almost like they.
So
Yours
what
is
do you
too
see
small,
with
or
that?
what?
Huh? The one I have is too small,
Yeah,
so I
looks
have
like
to
kind of
replace it with a
smaller.
Bosch. There's a Thermador in there now, and Thermador doesn't make that size anymore, so we got it. And Thermador and Bosch are the same company now, so we have to get a Bosch. So that's what's coming. They had to order it.
Yeah.
But then I look in these kitchens, and you can tell, because I'm showing these higher end homes right now, and you walk in, you see the red knobs. It's right away your eye goes, oh boy, that's a nice kitchen. You know that those are good appliances. So my ice maker, I'm going to get off on a tangent here now. So my ice maker is quit working. It doesn't keep up anymore. So I thought I'll get one like the restaurant. So I go to my restaurant supply store, and here's an ice maker, exactly the same as mine, same size, for a third of what the retail thing is. So when you're talking to people about their kitchens, are they doing it for function or are they doing it for a look?
A little of both, right? If you look at a sub-Wolf appliance package, there's a resale attached to that as well. But function is a big part of it. How do you cook? How do you host? How do you socialize in your home? There's definitely brand enthusiasts, right? The reason why people buy Mercedes and BMW and Porsche and things like that. If not, Honda's a very good car, right? It gets it done. It makes the pie. It cooks the beef. It cooks, the pot roast, right? But the technology that is in the higher end or the luxury products, whether it be Thermador, Miele, Sub-Zero Wolf, SKS, those are all wonderful products from a technology. Some of them actually have water so that you can put water back into your food. So there's this whole clean living conversation going on. Is there a sous vide? Is it induction? Is it dual fuel? Is it electric and gas? And they all cook a little different, right? So, but the technology and circulation of how the heat works, or
water, like a high humidity situation in the oven.
Yeah, so it actually, you can make popovers, right?
Yeah.
Like those kind of situations where you can't do that with the low end product. It's like you get hot and you get hotter, right? It doesn't.
Right.
It's crazy. Then you get into probes, right? Probes and ovens where all of a sudden the food that you bought, the prime rib for Christmas, it costs $200, comes out like you got it at Manny's, right? And you're like, oh, wonderful job, Keith. You're like, I just stuck the probe in there and told me it was done. I just
turned it off.
Amazing. Worked all day for it.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, but there is a difference. Refrigeration, sub-zero refrigerators, they will keep product longer, fresher. I had an opportunity to go to Madison, Wisconsin, go to Sub-Zero, and they fed us lettuce out of a Sub-Zero refrigerator that was 30 days old.
Wow.
And you would thought you bought it off the shelf.
Okay.
Wow.
So you pay for what you get.
You pay for it. Cheap pay twice. Yeah.
Yep.
Do you have a lot in your segment?
No, we'll continue.
Okay, good. You stay long?
Sure.
Okay.
Todd from Custom One Homes. Your website is custom1mn, all spelled out, .com.
Yes,
We're going to head out to break here. This is Real Estate Chalk Talk. Log on to our website, hittnergroup.com, HITTNER group.com. Or, as always, give us a call on the phone, 612-627-8000.
But we're going to wrap.
Money in the bank.
Rates are good. Pretty exciting.
You know why?
Welcome back.
Free money.
Thanks for staying with us. This is your Real Estate Chalk Talk with the Hittner Group. 612-627-8000 if you'd like to give us a ring-a-ling-a-ling, or go to hittnergroup.com. Just register on there. We'll reach out to you, and you can chat about your real estate needs. Calvin, what's cooking?
We'll touch on a couple things. We'll get back to Todd with Custom One Homes and Custom One Experience. Will be good to talk about a little bit later in our segment. Just real quick on the mortgage side, and I'm glad Todd's here because there's not a lot on the mortgage side to talk about. We did see rates drop back down under 7 this past week, which is nice. So we're hugging high 6s. We can get to mid 6, low 6 if you're paying a little discount points or something like that. But in terms of when you're running numbers, and if you want us to run numbers for you, we'd love to. But if you're just like playing with the mortgage calculator, use 6.5, 6.75 probably is a good rate to use right now on 30-year fixed money. We do have a nice grant program for Home Ready, so people putting 3 or 5% down, $4,000 towards closing costs. This is a grant that Loan Depot is doing specifically. It's not a national program. It's national with us, but it's not like common. So that's kind of a fun little deal. And
How do you qualify for that, Calvin?
you just have to be a Home Ready or Home Possible.
What's that mean? I don't know.
It means that you make under $99,440
Okay.
is the income limit. So as long as you hit, you have to fit in the box. But if you fit in the box, and we have a lot of first-time home buyers that we're working with.
Is that household income or?
Yep, household income. So gives them an extra $4,000.
Sure.
And so that's kind of nice, little added benefit.
And
there.
you can use that to buy the rate down with, or closing costs,
Yeah,
whatever
it's
you need to
$4,000.
use. Okay,
Yep.
super.
So however you want to use the money. And back on the experience of realtors, just want to point out, and I mention this often, but thanks for being experienced and really good. I had an experience this last week where I just needed the legal description of the property, and I was talking to the realtor, and they sent me the association documents.
Nice.
And I said,
close.
it's not. I said, well, I need the legal. Just get me the lot, because it's a condo townhome. I said, just grab me the legal, and I can find it myself, but let's just interact, right? Just let's have interaction, build relationship. Didn't know what
it was.
Couldn't find it. Didn't know what. I said, I can find it. No big deal. Okay, thanks. Yeah, thanks. I'm like, wow, you don't know anything. So there's a lot of people in your industry that don't know a thing. Probably
problem
like
with
ours.
a part-time industry.
Similar to the mortgage industry.
Probably similar to ours, right?
Hopefully not the building industry.
Right. But building industry is all professionals. But
Mostly.
No. So anyway, mortgage rates, mid to high 6s.
I think that's super duper.
And we're
actually.
okay. I'd love it to. I'd like it to be like 5, 7. I'd love to flirt with 5, high 5, low 6s. In there would be a great spot, and then we can just run
with that.
We'll just
forever.
run with that.
Yep.
And then let's go.
Yep.
What's your opinion on why we have improved now over the last?
Yeah, I'm curious about that.
Why the market improved a little bit?
Why is the rates? I mean, they were in the 7s a week ago.
Yep. So a little bit of economic data, a little bit of bonds moving. Not a lot of movement, just normal economic moves. And the closer as we inch towards the election, you're going to start to see more and more
downward pressure
on rates. The Fed came out. I mean, there's just a lot of. I would rather get back to Todd. Rates are down a little bit. That's good news. Take advantage of it. Call me 651-231-2500. That's good enough.
All right.
No one cares that much.
Although real quickly, everything that we've heard from economists is we do see rates improving throughout the year.
Correct.
That is certainly the sentiment.
Right.
Yes, moving forward.
And where it ties back into is rates drop. What do home values do?
They go up.
They go up, right? So pretty good time to buy. You can always change the rate.
Can't always change the house.
Can't change the house price. So
another thing is supporting values. You were touching off segment or off air about the home inventories and home building being down and that type of thing.
Yeah, currently today we're sitting about 106,000 homes underbuilt in the Twin Cities market. Average home price of a new construction house is almost $560,000. So we need to build about 34,000 is an average year for home building for units.
In the Twin Cities.
In the Twin Cities. So
33,000.
Yep, for units. So every time we're under that 106 becomes 108, 110, 112, right? And every time that we can build to that and above it, obviously the number comes down.
So just repeat, if you will, the average sale price of a new construction home in the
$550, $560.
So I have had just this week a conversation with somebody who was frustrated because they can't find their house, and they're looking in that 400-ish price point. And say, well, I think maybe we should just look at building, and you almost have to laugh. I mean, it's just it's so right now you think, well, 450, you should be able, and it's just so unrealistic.
450 gets you a national builder
townhouse. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It just
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I'd
used
like
to be 180, 190.
Can you just walk us through then kind of the process for someone who's listening to think, I want a nice house, I can afford whatever I want to afford. Walk us through napkin drawing to moving in. Kind of what does that look like?
Yeah, that's a great question, Keith. We consult, we meet, we try to figure out, what your wants are. As far as opportunities, what you like in a home. We sit and have a great consultative conversation. We open it up with how do you live, what's your family formation, what's your lifestyle, all those kind of fun things. And then we start talking about spaces that you'd want in your home, whether that be from bedrooms to baths to size of islands to what do bathrooms look like. Are they en suites? Are they Jack and Jills, Jack and Jacks? What are they, right? Half baths, all those kind of things. Auxiliary spaces, are they 4-season, porches? Are they 4-season rooms? Are there sport courts, craft rooms, offices? What's the situation from an employment standpoint? How many cars do you need? A lot of those questions, right? And we go on and on and on. So we go from that conversation to either they have a lot, they're trying to buy a lot from us. We come out to lots. So if you have some infill lot, rural lot, we would rather consult with you before making the purchase. Love to work with your realtor. If you're represented, so we can help guide you of I've been on lots where somebody bought a lot, they come out and they're like, we got to take you out to this lot. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Right.
It's a beautiful walkout lot, right? We get out there, this thing is flat as this table.
Wow.
I'm like, it ain't no walkout lot.
Right.
Right.
And a lot of times, some lots have a lot of engineering that have to go into them, and then the cost of the overall project can just shoot up dramatically.
So is it short dirt? Is it long dirt? Does it need retaining walls?
Hold on. Short dirt, long dirt. I don't know.
Yeah, so is there too much dirt on the lot that has to be exported? There's a cost to that. If we have to import dirt, there's a cost to that.
Wow.
Right? So just considerations that your average consumer doesn't know, right?
Right.
Same thing, like that's why they go to the doctor. That's why
Right.
you work with a professional builder. So we do that. We consult. We get into design. There's a fee for that. And then
Is there an architect involved in
There
this?
is.
Okay.
Yep. So either an architect or a designer. We start shaping the home. We do a concept drawing. We do a front elevation. You like it, don't like it, tweak, change.
Can I ask you about the front elevation? Because I was looking at a house this week. Inside is pretty. It's a production house, but it was pretty inside. A nice house, functional. And from the exterior, I looked at that house and I said, "This is the ugliest thing I've ever seen. Who'd want to come home to this every night?"
Yeah.
Talk about that front elevation and the conversation that goes into that.
Yeah, they should call Custom One Renovation, custom1renovation.com, and they can help you
Change that.
Change that
quite a
ugly
bit.
house.
So yeah, love to.
Usually on these homes, it's moving the garage just onto the side.
Yeah,
Because
something.
a lot of the new construction homes that are going to be in your 550, 560 price point are all garage.
Yeah,
You know,
because the lots are become
lots
way
are
more
narrow. They're
right?
trying to squeeze as many on there, and there's just a door on the side to get
front
yourself in.
front door, and we're seeing homes where actually the door is now on the side, not on the front.
Oh, beautiful.
You know, the garage with the side front door.
Okay, so you've met with the architect now, and you've got your elevation done, and then walk us through from there. Then.
Yeah, you like it, we tweak it, we change it, and then we say, all right, let's go to construction drawings. We go to construction drawings. Now we got 20 pages of plans. We're going to start introducing you to the interior side of this, and work with an interior designer. Nice little process in place that's going to help guide you, so it's not so intimidating.
So do you have a garage then with 6 options of siding? On
Yeah,
the
we
wall?
don't do that. We don't have a selection center. We work with designers so that you actually get to pick from the whole store, not just one corner of it.
Okay.
So it's like I always say, it's not chocolate, vanilla, strawberry. It's like going to Baskin Robbins where you get to try all the flavors if you want. Yeah.
Super.
So come in, do that. Now you're making interior selections. We're pricing out the structure itself. We've been talking price the whole time to try to make sure that we're
In budget.
we're aligned to you. And then we get the price, we package that, we show you what things cost, and then you get to pick and choose priorities.
Right, and on the exterior and on the elevation, staying there, we talked earlier in the program about pricing and differences there. You can have dormers, hips, gables, just go with the standard shed roof, types of exteriors, pitch, all of that stuff is going to dramatically change the overall cost of that project, right?
Yeah, 1612 roofs cost a lot more money than a 612, right?
Yeah.
So the more steep, more material.
I just want to hit your verticals real quick in the last minute. The different business units you have under Custom One.
Yeah.
When we went out for dinner, we talked about a Custom One experience. Hit on that, and you've got a minute.
Yeah, if you got go to custom1mn.com, you'll see a home vertical. You'll see a renovation company. You'll see an exterior company that does roofs, gutters, windows, and siding. And then we also have a landscaping company. So, if you're working with us on a home or a renovation type project, we can also do the landscape design incorporated into the entire plan. Or if you just need to refresh your yard, we can do that as well. Retaining walls, pavers, patios, all those kind of things. Renovation is a design, build, remodeling company that you'd come and do kitchens, bathrooms, additions, whole house remodels, those kind of activities.
And you're going to find all the high quality, great experience that you can expect from Custom One. Custom1mn.com. This is Real Estate Chalk Talk. See you next week.